The title of my presentation today is Moving to Modification and Redefinition with Lego Mindstorms EV3 Robots. And I am a 6th grade math teacher at Owsley County Elementary School. But I also have a reading block in the morning. Turn it, please. Here's some of my contact information. All of this is on the sheet that my wife just handed out. You can go ahead and turn it again. Again. Okay, SAMR is the SAMR model. It stands for Substitution, Augmentation, Modification, and Redefinition. And it offers a method of seeing how computer technology might impact teaching and learning. Go ahead and turn it, please. My problem of practice is my concern that I wrote this back last summer when we were working on our grants and things like that, and one of my concerns was that I hovered too much in the substitution when it came to using technology. And what that would basically mean is instead of giving children a worksheet, I would have the same type of activity on a PDF file that the kids would be able to see on a computer screen, but then they would still write their answers on a piece of paper. It was just substituting a computer screen for the worksheet. And that sort of thing, I kind of felt like I hovered too much there, and I wanted to kind of move more to the other end of SAMR to where students are engaged more with technology, where without technology the activity itself could not be completed or could not be done. Turn it, please. One method that I thought about addressing my problem of practice was to involve the Lego Mindstorm robot kits in my classroom. Last May, I had the opportunity to go to Pennsylvania, and I visited some very innovative school districts. And in all the schools that we went into, they had lots of robots for the students. They also had lots of technology that the children were using, and I thought that maybe the robot kits could provide my students with opportunities to perhaps make robot versions, program code the robots, and share their ideas and creations with an online community. And that, I was hoping, would kind of be the springboard for me to maybe bring in some more modification or redefinition with the SAMR model. Turn it, please. My research question is, how does working with Lego Mindstorm's EV3 robot kits springboard my students and my teaching practices into modifying and redefining the way we learn and teach with technology? And that was something that I really wanted to work towards. And one of the things that I did last summer to try to prep myself for this is I actually earned a Google certification level 1, and at my school I'm the only teacher that has that certification right now. So I really was going to try to bring in as much technology as I could for my students. Turn it, please. And one of the things that we did to communicate about our experience is we created a documentary that was going to be our culminating activity. And that documentary is a little bit over 15 minutes long, and it went live this morning, and it's on our YouTube channel, and you can see the web address for our YouTube channel here. I also posted links to that documentary on the Holler and on Twitter. Turn it, please. And we wrote the ARI mini grant stating that success would be attained if this activity led to more modification redefinition experiences. And I believe that the robots were successful and that we have used technology throughout the year in ways that we've never used it before. And the following slides are going to show some examples of how we incorporated modification and redefinition experiences. All the math work that we did this year was through Google Classroom. We didn't have a textbook. I didn't give handouts. If it was an assignment that I was giving the students, they were going to find it in the Google Classroom. And one of the good things about the Google Classroom was that if I posted an assignment and a child struggled with it, they had a forum to where they could post questions. And I could answer their question or another student could. And that was something that I really, really appreciated, because there were times when by the time I got home from school after meetings and things like that, and I got a chance to check my messages or notifications, I would see that somebody had posted a question, but another child had stepped in and answered that question for them. And so that was always really nice. So I made sure that all the work that we did was posted in our Google Classroom. Turn it, please. We also reached out to other people to come in and work with the students. We had Miss Katrina Sloan from KVEC. She brought ProBots for students to practice some coding. This was something that my students had never done before. Turn it, please. It really surprised me how much math was involved with coding practices, and these robots were great for that. Turn it, please. I also found that it was unreal at how much engagement. I had students that, I had this one little fellow in particular that was really hard to motivate, and I never saw him react like he did when we started bringing out the robots and things like that. He would get down on the floor and he would just work with those and do whatever he would do all kinds of problem solving. It was amazing. Turn it, please. And they would really get into it. I mean, you can see how engaged they are here. They got a couple kids. They're arguing about, because you can stick a pin in part of it, and you can code this so that it makes a geometric shape based on what angle you want to be and things like that. Turn it, please. And here's just another picture. Turn it. And it also provided opportunities for kids to persevere. Like in this picture, Miss Sloan, she's working with this little group, and this is one of our EV3 robots. And we had a time trying to get to do what we wanted it to do. And this little fella, he goes in there and he starts coding around and he starts doing some problem solving, and he was able to figure out what needed to be done and got it to do what he wanted it to do. And I remember how exciting it was. In that moment, we put that in our little documentary. Turn it, please. Some of the things that we did also to communicate with the world about our use of robots and other things we're doing in the classroom is we did create iMovies, and here some students are working on editing an iMovie, and we would post these to YouTube, and this would give other people an opportunity to see what we're doing. And if they chose to, not that they did, they could correspond with us. They could put messages and comments and things like that. So that was one way that we tried to share what we were doing. Turn it, please. And we had a green screen. We kind of played around with it. Turn it. And here's one of the aides in the classroom, and we thought that was kind of neat. We didn't even know what we were going to do with that picture, and we took the picture over, and then we thought, why not? We thought it looked like it would go along with these dancers. Turn it. We participated with Hour of Code, and like I said, it was just unreal how much math is involved in coding. On this particular day, I had a math coach from my school district and a regional math coach from Florida. They came in on this day that we were doing the Hour of Code, and they were all impressed with how much math was going on with this. And without the Hour of Code that we did, we would still do the math. I mean, this particular activity that they're doing, it involves angles and degrees and things like that, and that hit some of our 6th grade standards. But this just kind of made it deeper for them because they got to control the little figure, and they could make her move how they wanted to, and if they put the right codes in, they could make her go certain angles, and they couldn't do it. She wouldn't move unless they plugged in the right coordinates. Turn it, please. And this is just another shot of the Hour of Code. You can see here they did block coding, but they still had to plug in values. Plug it to our turn, please. And the students also were engaged in a self-directed learning activity where they worked towards completing the Khan Academy 6th grade math mission. And this is something that they usually did outside of class. Sometimes I'd give them a little bit of time in class, but this is something that they are expected to do every day. And we have little goals that they set and try to meet every 2 weeks. And this is something self-directed. And without the technology, all they would get is just the instruction they get in the classroom and what homework I would send. But this was just a little bit something more, and it hit a lot of standards that some of the students need extra practice on. Turn it, please. And here we participate in the Sumdog Valley math contest. One of my students managed to place 3rd overall in answering the most questions correct. Turn it, please. And this just goes to talk about how they would share Google Docs with each other where they can make comments for improvement instead of just writing their essays on paper and trying to edit themselves. They could actually share it with somebody electronically. Turn it, please. And let's just go through real fast. Okay, I feel like it was very successful. I did earn a micro credential for my use of modification with technology, and I feel like it really helped us integrate a lot of the M and the R. So I do feel like this was a very successful endeavor. All right, and I'll take questions at the end. Thank you.